In Washington, D.C., Michael Weiss with the triple-triple. He leads his qualifying group. And the Olympic bronze medalist from the U.S., Timothy Gable, looked very healthy and primed to make a run at the top spot. But the surprise so far has been Ryan Yahnke from the U.S. In his first World Championships, he received a standing ovation for his effort. The men take the ice for the short program next. With the qualifying round now in the books, the men inside the MCI Center head to the second of three phases of the competition here at the 2003 World Figure Skating Championships. Hi again, everybody. Terry Gannon back with Dick Button. And Dick, let's talk about the top men here, and we'll start with the favorite, the #1 ranked skater in the world right now, Yevgeny Plushenko from Russia.
Well, you know, he's got a lot of pizzazz. He's really got movie star quality. He's a wonderful jumper, a magnificent jumper, and he does bizarre moves that are just fascinating to watch. Now, he's not a classical skater, but he's exciting. He has a lot of dash, and he does everything with conviction, and I'm really very impressed by him.
How about the three-time U.S. champion, Michael Weiss, who's had a ball here because he's from suburban Washington, D.C., and he's got a bit of a different approach now.
Well, you know, I think he's having a good time because he really has confidence. He just maintains that confidence no matter what. I mean, a lot of others sometimes sneer a little bit at the fact that he uses hypnosis, but I say whatever works is fine. I mean, that's his way. I really respect him for his continuing positive attitude.
Another top skater from the U.S., the Olympic bronze medalist from Salt Lake City, Timothy Gable, who was out with a hip injury at the beginning of the season. Now he looks healthy.
Well, you can see the jumps that he does and the spinning that he does in the air. I mean, he's the best spinner in the air of any skater around. I mean, he has a good overall attitude, I think, about where skating and he and the rest of us fit within the overall world scene today, which is another story. And he's a little lopsided on jumping, but I think he's doing very well. He's back on track, and I think we're going to see a good performance out of him here.
And the surprise so far, the other American here, the man who got that last spot on the World Championship team in terms of the U.S. skaters, Ryan Yahnke, his first trip to the World Championships, and he's made the most of it.
Well, I really like Ryan Yahnke. I mean, he's musical. He feels the program. He has marvelous edging ability. In the qualifying round, he did 8 triples, and he was back doing a very solid triple axel, which he'd been missing in past years. I mean, I think he moves as well as any skater in the world.
The other top contender to talk about here, the man who stood on the podium last year at the World Championships in Nagano. He won the bronze medal in his home country, Takeshi Honda, coming back off an ankle injury, but he's got so much pressure here because the Japanese press have been all over him. Every step he takes, they've been right behind him. They expect him to make it to the podium once again at the World Championships. But back to the overall favorite. Yevgeny Plushenko is here. Most people expect him to win, but he is not 100% healthy. For more on that, right now let's join Peter Carruthers.
That's right, Terry. Last week, Yevgeny Plushenko felt a sharp pain in his left knee. At that time, he didn't seek medical attention for that knee, but this week, the Russian doctor has been treating that knee with compresses. He says it hurts on some of his jumps, and one of those jumps in particular is the toe loop, and that's of concern because he opens up this difficult short program with the quadruple toe, triple toe combination. And don't forget, it was a knee injury that took him out of the World Championships last year. Back to you.
All right, Peter. Despite the injury, Yevgeny Plushenko was awfully impressive in the qualifying round. In the short program, of course, there are 8 required elements. If you fail to perform any of these or have a mistake on any of these, there are deductions. It can cost you the title. And the second one there, a triple or a quadruple jump. If you don't have the quad here in the short, it's awfully tough to make it to the top spot. So here we go. The short program worth 30% of the overall score. The qualifying round was worth 20%. And on the ice from China, the 23-year-old from Changchun, Chengjiang Li, who had a top 5 finish at the World Championships last season in Nagano. A 4-time Chinese champion.
Very powerful skater. He's a solid edging. Not the most graceful, but look at the speed that he has going into this. Right here, his quadruple toe, triple toe. That'll get full marks for that.
Chinese skaters are always ones to watch out because if their jumps are on, they can be very dangerous. Zhang Zheng Li, Min Jiang, Zheng Jingguo in the past was like that.
Look at this triple axel. Look at the tightness and the speed of the feet and the legs and the revolution in the air. I mean, that, and there again, that triple loop. I mean, he's a very solid jumper. He has wonderful spinning ability in the air. His combination spin, it's been fairly good. Not quite so good there. If you notice, it's not quite so steadily centered as it should be. Centering, by the way, means that you stay in one spot like a top and you don't travel as you're spinning across the ice. Circular split work. I find him very energetic, very muscular, very fast skater. I mean, I think he's a marvelous athlete. And I think he's also developing as a stylist, but not yet. He's still immersed in the athleticism of this event. But it's a pleasant skating. I mean, it's not a bad skating style to watch at all. Straight line footwork. His artistry really comes out of the energy and the muscularity of this skating. I mean, I must say I'm impressed by him. Very good. Oh, very good. You know, I mean, and doesn't he like it too? Look at that.
That may be the best program we've seen from Zheng Zheng Li, at least in terms of the short program. It was terrific and everything was on.
You know, when you're really working athletically, it becomes artistic. It becomes creative. When you force it, it is less so.
He's fourth in his qualifying group, but he'll move up from that because that was a terrific performance. Zheng Zheng Li from China. And here's a look at the panel of judges working the men's short program. 14 judges, 9 of their marks actually count. They're all anonymous. And Alexander Lukernik from Russia was supposed to be the referee on this panel, but he was held up getting out of Russia, coming to the U.S. because of visa problems. So it's Gail Tanger, an American, who serves as the referee.
Required elements.
Now, there'll be 2 sets of marks. In the short program, the first set is of the utmost importance, of course, because it reflects how well you perform the 8 required elements.
Oh, and they're very, very nice. I mean, I'm really impressed by them. Only one 5.3, and the rest all 5.5s, 5.6s, and 5.7s, and 5.8s. I mean, that's an impressive list. And even there on the presentation marks, they're very high and consistently good. Mostly all 5.4s and 5.5s. That's impressive.
Zheng Zheng Li of China. He set the standard so far, and it's a very high one here in the men's short program. Backstage, Yevgeny Plushenko making his way quickly to the ice. He'll skate here in the men's short program when we come back. The men's short program, and there is Yevgeny Plushenko set to go. We were recently in his hometown of St. Petersburg, Russia for the Grand Prix final, and he allowed us to spend some time with him to give us some insight into his daily life.
Hello, I'm Yevgeny Plushenko. Welcome to my home, St. Petersburg, Russia. Hello, that's my girlfriend, her name Uliana, and we are together like almost 2 years.
Я ему полностью доверяю, взрослый человек, может сам отвечать за свои поступки.
Спасибо.
Что ты не стоишь меня, но я не слушал никого, я так любил тебя, я потерял и нажил кучу.
Вообще находиться и жить, потому что как бы времени на самом деле не бывает. То ты расстраиваешься и в другой жизни, как бы не только в спорте, но и в бытовой жизни. То есть надо по-любому, как бы, если не получилось, надо поехать на природу, отдохнуть или посидеть с друзьями, поиграть в бильярд, расслабиться, и на следующий день все получится.
The man's got it going on. Extremely popular in his hometown and, well, really all over Russia. And now trying to win the world title for the second time in his career. He won back in 2001. Of course, he captured the Olympic silver medal right behind Alexei Yagudin in Salt Lake City.
I think he's so popular because he's got flair and pizzazz. I mean, he really entertains everybody with his skating. He's opening quadruple toe. Very interesting. Quadruple toe, triple toe. Didn't look like it had the fire that he usually has, but with that bad leg, I think it's probably very satisfying to him that he got through it. Here's his triple axel. Now watch the takeoff edge. The lean. Oh, wow. And that was a very, very deep lean on the end. Fully completed. Good clean edge coming out, but it didn't have the style and the position that we know he can do.
Remember to keep an eye on that left knee. He's had inflammation. Peter Carruthers talked about it a little bit earlier. Hasn't seemed to bother him during the competition so far.
This is circular step movement. Very interesting steps. Unusual and different. Triple Lutz jump. Now this sit, change, sit requirement of 6 revolutions on each foot. Only 1 change of foot allowed. That's infinitely better than what the spins that he's been doing in the past years. I think he's concentrated on them much more. This straight line footwork coming up. His footwork seems to me awkward to me. It doesn't quite. Maybe it's the fact that some of his positions are so unusual, not classical in feeling, that that step didn't flow really well for me. Flying camel, minimum of 8 revolutions on the landing. Final of the 8 moves, a combination spin, that forward camel, not the best, the sit spin, not perfect. Catch foot, back leg position, and a scratch spin. He's very popular with the audience, I think, because he has a lot of excitement. There's a movie star quality in there, and that's kind of fun to see. All of the skating was a little bit flat, though, tonight. It did not sing the way I've seen him sing. The way he did at the Grand Prix finals when he skated the short program, he just blew that house apart. But he did not do that here tonight.
His 5th trip to the World Championships. He's got a gold, he's got a silver, he's got a bronze. The bronze was back when he was 15 years old. Time for the gold once again. Yevgeny Plushenko.
Now the opening combination, this quadruple toe, triple toe, watch as he steps right here, and look at that. It's very good, but it's not. It doesn't sing. It doesn't have the full height that he is capable of doing, but a nice landing edge, and that was very good. And this triple axel, watch what happens here. Now the takeoff edge. Look at how the skid goes backwards. The lean is very much to the left, i.e. to the center of the circle, and the landing corkscrews in quite rapidly.
Alongside his coach, Alexei Mishin, who was one of those who scoffed at the idea of using a hypnotist, as Michael Weiss is doing.
Well, I guess a little competitive interest there. Look at those marks, all 5.7s, 5.8s, and 1.59. So there's not much discrepancy in that set of marks.
Second set for presentation now, Dick, on the way. And there they are, 5.8s, 5.9s.
Yeah, look, I think that he should be very happy with what he got. He skated cleanly and he skated well. It was not his best, but certainly it was not his worst by any means. Good show.
It's never easy to follow Plushenko, but the task falls to Ryan Yankee, one of 3 Americans here in this final group at the World Figure Skating Championships. He's next. Right now, let's go over and check in with Peter Carruthers, who is with Yevgeny Plushenko. Peter?
Yevgeny, did your left knee bother you during the short program?
Yes, it's. I feel problem with my knee, with left knee. When I jump to the triple axel, it hurts, but finally I landed. So, and we're doing like exercise with my doctor. Maybe we make it tomorrow injection.
Well, take care of that knee for the free program.
Thank you.
In order to win the gold, you got to get in a good position, and that's what they're trying to do here in the short program. Ryan Yankee takes the ice, the 25-year-old from Grosse Pointe Farms, Michigan. He won the bronze medal at the U.S. Nationals to make it here for the first time to Worlds. As we said before, he was terrific in his qualifying round. He came in third in his qualifying group.
Look at the stretch as he does his combination. First, a triple Lutz. Look at that beautiful stretch. I mean, that was very nice. But again, how close he is to the barrier. That jump combination, not as powerful and not as strong as the triple and quadruple triple combinations, but beautifully done. And this triple axel he's had problems with in the past. He's done it successfully in the qualifying rounds. Here it is. And he could not hold the landing age. That's a pity.
Ryan lives and trains in Colorado Springs. He got married this past summer. Works as a Sunday school teacher, among other things. Very active in his church.
These steps are unusual and interesting and very creative. I mean, he just isn't doing back crossovers around the rink leading to the next jump. The serpentine footwork, much more difficult than straight line or circular. This next, the triple jump, necessary to do footwork into it. That was better than what we usually see. Most skaters don't do footwork into it, but make it just a straight line presentation. Look at the position on that camel. Now the second of the footwork requirements is circular footwork in his case. One-legged skating is very tiring and very difficult. Final move, a combination spin. First to camel. Sit spin. Half sit spin. Corkscrew sit spin. Back sit spin. You know, I must say he's an impressive skater. He really captures my attention because he's musical. He flows beautifully. He has, I mean, just a really elegant line. He's a classical skater of the first order, and I really like watching him.
Got a lot of fans here in the MCI Center too, but the only man in this final group that doesn't have the quad jump. We'll see if that hurts him. Ryan Yankee.
Now this triple Lutz combination, the first one, not as difficult as a quadruple, but look at the straight leg there and the wonderful turn to it, and look at how close he gets at the end of this triple toe loop to the boards. Now, that's not going to take any marks off, but it certainly takes our attention away from the quality of the move. Here's his triple axel, and look what happens. He skids the takeoff edges, leaning in the air, cannot hold the landing, and is falling down, and that fall will cost at least 3 to 4 tenths of a point.
In the kiss and cry now, and there's his longtime coach, Diana Ronayne, on the right side of the screen, his first and only coach. They've been together for 14 years.
The fellow on the left is Tom Dixon, his choreographer, is one of the creative choreographers of the skating scene in America.
In the kiss and cry now, waiting for the marks. Diana Ronayne, his coach on the right side of your screen, his first and only coach. They've been together for 14 years.
And probably the lowness of that mark is due to the 3 to 4/10 automatic removal for the fall.
Wide range, though. 4-4 to 5-2. Now the second set, 5.0 to 5.7. And the placements from the judges, the 5th place is up on the board and then down to 13th. Judges wildly disagreeing on the performance of Ryan Yankee. On the ice next, the 22-year-old from Fukushima, Japan, reigning world bronze medalist, Takeshi Honda skates when we return. Why still to come here in the short program. On the ice from Japan, last year's bronze medalist at Worlds, Takeshi Honda. Finished second in his qualifying group.
Like most of the skaters, he is doing his 2-jump combination right at the start. This will be a quadruple toe, triple toe. Oh, a very, very low landing. It ended up being a double toe loop. That'll cost him, I think, something. The landing was not perfect. It should have been up straighter, and it should have had a longer edge out. And that's why he had to release the triple toe and only do a double toe at the end. Triple axel. That was solid. A sit spin, chain sit spin. Total of 12 revolutions. Now this next jump has to be preceded by footwork. And this is his version of the footwork going into this triple lutz. Good spinning quality and a nice high flying death drop.
Takeshi qualified for the Grand Prix final, but was not able to go because of a sprained left ankle. This is his 8th appearance at the World Championships, and he's only 22 years old.
See how nicely he went into that spin right out of the serpentine footwork. He didn't do a long preparation for it. I think that kind of increased the interest of it. The spin, so-so, all right, not good enough. Final element, straight line footwork. Nice overall performance. You know, it was a good performance.
But that's just all you need, really, in the short program, isn't it?
I don't think if you're going to be sure on winning, you can't win by a 1/10 of a point with any kind of security. You know, it's just an interesting thing. There was no mandatory deduction, by the way, for that first combination where he did only a double instead of a triple toe part of the combination.
The 5-time Japanese champion, Takeshi Honda.
Now here is his triple axel. Watch what he does with this takeoff edge and the very, very nice straight body, the line, the complete edge of the thing. That was a good jump. Very solid and very well. And here's the Chevy Stroh motion of that very move. Now look at the free leg as it erupts forward into it, and the height that he gets. That's really wonderful. That's the kind of height you need on a jump to be able to complete the revolution before you land it. And there's a nice outflowing edge. Good jump.
Now, just as we had in the pairs competition a little bit earlier, the short program, the judges really haven't been able to make their decisions and be together on any of these skaters in the marks. Some wide ranges so far. First set now for required elements, 5.3 up to 5.7.
And remember, we don't know which of the judges' marks are actually counting.
Exactly. 14 judges. Only 9 of them count. The judges don't know which ones actually count.
And 2 of them suspended in previous days as well. What can I tell you?
Presentation marks 5.5 up to 5.8. So Takeshi Honda with the judges' placements into second place overall, right behind Plushenko. We'll have more of the 2003 World Figure Skating Championships when we return. Takeshi Honda and Cheng-Jeng Lee from China. And on the ice right now from Switzerland, Stefan Lambiel.
He was a sensation, by the way, in the qualifying round.
Yep.
Performance was magnificent. He's an extraordinary spinner, as many of the Swiss have been in the past.
Lucinda Roux, right?
And Nicole Hassler, Denise Spielman, etc. Now, he does not do the 2-jump combination to start with, but instead a triple axel. Oh, wow, that was a well-held-on edge. No deduction there, which is very risky. Now comes his quadruple toe, triple toe combination. Total just inability to check, sustain, or hold on to that landing edge. That was the kind of jump that moves very quickly, doesn't disrupt you, and you bounce right back up again. Circular steps. That's a flying back open death drop back sit spin.
He's only 17 years old. This is his second trip to the Senior World Championships. He's won the Swiss national title 3 times in his career.
And this is the required footwork into this triple Lutz jump. Again, if you could see his 2 feet together when he landed, they were both in front, and there was no depth and no dropping into the knee. It just plopped right down off it. I mean, those 2 moves are just, those 2 falls are just going to kill his chances. And that's a shame, because he's really a very exciting skater. Move, a sit spin, interesting position. Change foot to a back sit spin, again an interesting position. Not a good moment for him.
Well, he was well ahead of last year's pace. He finished 18th at the World Championships last year, 3rd in the qualifying this year, but this didn't help him at all. Stefan Lambiel come back and check his marks in just a moment. And don't forget the 3-time U.S. champ, Michael Weiss, getting ready. He is still to skate. And Timothy Gable, the Olympic bronze medalist. We asked him earlier this week the question everybody's asking, is Yevgeny Plushenko beatable?
Anyone at any event is beatable, and unless you go out and skate perfect at every event, no one's invincible. Right? He can make mistakes just like the rest of us. Obviously, he is the clear favorite here. He's had a great season, and he's a tremendous competitor. But nobody's unbeatable. They thought he was unbeatable at Olympics.
By Chevy, the cars you can depend on, the cars that last, will be there.
Timothy Gable.
Back in Washington, D.C. as the 2003 World Figure Skating Championships continue. Yevgeny Plushenko has the lead so far over Takeshi Honda and Cheng-Jeng Lee here in the men's short program. But there are 2 Americans left to skate. And here is Timothy Gable, the 2002 Olympic bronze medalist. By the way, the marks for Stefan Lambiel from Switzerland range from 4.2 all the way up to 5.7 overall. But he's in 11th place at this point.
Very tense music. It leads well into this 2-jump combination. First a quad, Salchow. Beautiful beautiful revolution, beautiful turning in the air, wonderfully straight line, magnificent jump. The second most difficult move in this required group of 8 is this triple axel.
He's coming off what was an awful performance at the U.S. Nationals. He had the lead, and he just fell all over the place in the free skate. But earlier this week, he said it was an anomaly. That wasn't me. I'd forgotten all about it.
Well, already this technically is much better performance than what we've seen in a long time. Even that sit spin, you know, was really an interesting, nice position. Footwork into a triple flip. And this choreography by Laurie Nichols is certainly helping him. I mean, it's taken the effect off of the fact that he had no sort of artistic impression at all. Now it's beginning to shine. That's a very nice quality to see. There's tension in this music. It keeps your mind. Running threes, running camels into this combination spin, camel sit spin, good stretched free leg, back camel, and back sit. Well, good performance for him. Hey, very nice. Timothy Gable, you've come a long way in the last year. That's very creditable to see. Congratulations to you.
Remember how good he was at the Olympics in Salt Lake City when he stood on the podium there. He's been through a rough season, but he may be back to that point, or maybe even a little better because of the choreography and the artistic quality, as you said, Dick.
I think there's a far greater point of view to his skating. I mean, he was, forgive me for saying it, but in the past he's been a boring skater. Now he's got some excitement and some line to it, and that's great to see. Now look at this opening combination. First is quadruple Salchow right here. Look at the body, how straight it is. The feet and the legs wonderfully positioned. And the edge just smoothly running into the second triple toe loop. No bobble, no change, nothing. Very, very first rate. This is Chevy Straw Motion of Timothy Gable's triple flip, and you can see him reaching back. Not a straight line, but look at the arch of his back as he goes up into the peak of that jump and then lands with a very nice outflowing edge.
The Ranger Clark.
Along with Frank Carroll now. Remember what Timothy Gable said. Plushenko and anybody is beatable. Well, he's going to put some pressure on here, there's no doubt. The first set for required elements, 5.7s, 5.8s.
And very, very fine marks. I think he should be very proud of those. And I think...
Now the second set, Dick, the presentation, 5.6 to 5.8.
Yeah, well, I'm surprised. Those have dropped off the top, and they were not as good as what Plushenko got. But I think there was a great improvement in that area.
Only one of the 9 judges, though, that count putting Timothy Gable in the first place. He is in second overall, right behind Yevgeny Plushenko. So from one American to another, the last to skate here, Michael Weiss on his home turf, just 20 minutes from his house in McLean, Virginia. Because of that, he's been looking forward to this event for a very long time.
It's awesome. I mean, it really is. I've done shows and exhibitions here at the MCI Center in D.C., but I've never had a competition of this caliber in D.C. And so far, I mean, I've had one practice, and I stepped out on the ice, and just stepping out on the ice, I got applause from everybody in the arena. And that's you know, a really cool feeling that everybody in the arena pretty much knows me. You know, if they don't know me directly, they know me indirectly because I've been in Washington, D.C. since I first stepped out on the ice when I was 9 years old. So to have that support of the crowd and to feed off that energy is going to be something special.
Sometimes it works in your favor, skating at home. Sometimes there's a lot of pressure that comes along with that. Right now, Plushenko, Gable, and Honda, your top three, as Michael Weiss takes the ice. It has been an up and down year, but most of the down was earlier in the season. That win at Trophy La Ligue, when he came from behind, from way behind, to win in Paris, started a run that has continued. He came from behind from 4th to 1st at the U.S. Nationals.
This opening combination, quadruple toe loop, triple toe loop. Now, the landing edges were not pure, but the jump and the revolutions was completed. And I got to tell you, we all take it. We know how he's been struggling with those, and it's really great to see him do that performance. This is an excellent performance by the top two American men.
What a great way to start.
Here's a triple axel. Oh, good. He did it where he didn't skid off the edge. That's a nice improvement. I'll take his hypnosis if that's what makes it work.
Where is he? I want him right now.
Absolutely. And look at that combination spin. That's more difficult than the combinations, the camel to the jump over to the back sit spin. You know, that's better and more difficult than a lot of the spins we've seen. Circular footwork. Remember, the choreography is done by Lisa Thornton-Weiss, his wife. Circular footwork. Interesting step. You know, there's a little bizarre attitude, a little different to it. It's not the usual. Triple Lutz. Oh, now isn't that the worst kind of possibility that you can face? He just didn't reach back far enough. He didn't hold the landing. He didn't control the revolution of it. It's almost as though he lost concentration. That's going to destroy, the marks for him.
And normally we can say if you're in the top three going to the free skate, you control your own destiny, but that's not true at Worlds because there's a qualifying round and the free skate's only worth 50%.
Isn't it typical how many skaters get through the hard parts and then lose it on the simpler and easier jump, which they can do with their left hand tied behind their back? Remember, they'll be 4/10 of a point off for that fall, and the performance was going so well. I mean, it's a shame to see that happen.
There's his wife, Lisa. He had it rolling, too.
That smile tells you something right there. It's that half smile. Oh, well.
Can't get it back. And it was an element that he's done, 1,000 times, huh?
Yep.
Michael Weiss.
Now, this quadruple toe, triple toe combination right here at the beginning, not the smoothest jump. Very nice turning, very good. But, it was complete, and it was exactly the kind of thing he needed. And look here at this triple Lutz jump. What happens right here? The jump, he read just right there, that landing edge never worked. He never settled into it. He couldn't control it. And it just was a complete follow through into a fall. No explanation for that. And his wife unhappy as she can possibly be.
More shocked, I think.
Well, it wasn't expected.
He was on a roll through much of that performance and the one glaring mistake. Now, where's he going to fit in? Plushenko, Gable, Honda, Cheng Jiang Lee. Remember, there's your top skaters right now.
And remember the required deduction, a required amount of 4/10 of a point. And if you added that to the 5.2s and the 5.3s here, you'd be right up in the 5.8s and the 5.7s. So that...
yeah, that's why you see the 5.2s and
right.
The range up to 5.4. And now the second set of marks. There's Don Laws, his coach.
And they're considerably higher than Timothy Gable, which I find is a very interesting point to note. I'm not sure whether I agree with it.
So Michael Weiss is into 4th place right behind Takeshi Honda. He was so close. So as we check the standings after the men's short program, Yevgeny Plushenko, as expected, has the lead. He fought the injuries, been superb so far. So too for Timothy Gable, right behind in 2nd place. A great shot at the gold medal. Takeshi Honda in 3rd, and then Michael Weiss rounds out the top 4. Ryan Yankee from the U.S. currently in 7th place. Right now, let's go over and check in with Peter Carruthers. Peter?
Thank you, Terry. You just told me silly mistake. What was going on?
Oh, what a silly mistake. I hit the quad triple on one foot, hit the triple axel. I felt like I had the crowd really building at the end. And then all of a sudden, I remember doing it and watching the tape afterward. I fell in the Lutz, and I stand up, and my face is just like, just complete shock. I mean, triple Lutz is a very easy jump for me. As you know, I've been trying quad Lutzes and been doing them, but just a silly mistake. But that's the way it is. But I feel good for the long program. If I can hit quad triple and the triple axel like that, I'm pumped for the long program. I won't make a silly mistake like that in the long.
Well, best of luck as you move to the free program.
Thank you.
And Terry, one other note. Timothy Gable had to go backstage right away after his performance. Apparently he has a stomach flu, so we'll have to follow that as the competition goes on.
All right, Peter, thanks. Hopefully he'll be ready for the free skate. Timothy Gable with a shot at the gold medal. That wraps it up here on ESPN2. What you want to do right now is switch over to ABC to watch the pairs free skate and our live coverage of the men's final. Except for those of you living on the West Coast, you'll see it 3 hours later at 9 p.m. And join us again over on ESPN Saturday night at 6 Eastern, 3 Pacific for the original dance and the ladies' short programs. And Saturday night, 8 o'clock Eastern, the free dance and our live coverage of the ladies' championship on ABC Sports. Until then, for Dick Button, Peggy Fleming, Peter Carruthers, I'm Terry Gannon. This has been a presentation of ESPN, the worldwide leader in sports. For more, log on to ESPN.com. Goodbye, everybody, from Washington, D.C.